The elders didn't scream or shout. They simply said, "Don't provoke the humans." But the council laughed, the generals scoffed, and the young warriors beat their chests in arrogance. Now, with skies burning and cities in ruins, the galaxy realizes too late. The elders weren't afraid without reason. The grand hall of the Tri-Conclave shimmered with crystal light. Banners of the Ishari Republic hung tall, proud symbols of a long-reigning civilization. At the center stood High Strategist Varnex, his tendrils twitching in excitement. "We've analyzed the human systems," he declared, gesturing to the holographic star map. "Their defenses are primitive. Their colonies scattered. This is the perfect moment." The hall murmured in agreement. Young commanders leaned forward, hungry for conquest. Senators smiled, already calculating resource extraction. But in the shadowed rear of the chamber, the elders sat unmoving. Elder Raya, the oldest among them, slowly rose. Her voice was calm, ancient, and without hesitation. "You must not go to war with Earth." Silence fell. Varnex blinked in confusion. "With respect, Elder Raya," he said, "they are fractured. We've intercepted their transmissions. They war with each other. Their alliances are unstable. Their fleets, laughable." Raya's four eyes narrowed. "And yet, they still exist." Another elder spoke. "We encountered them once, during the Exodus War, long before you were born. They are different, resilient beyond reason. When cornered, they do not yield. They become something else." Varnex smirked. "What monsters?" "No," Raya said. "They become human." Laughter rippled through the hall. Raya's voice rose only slightly. "Your arrogance will be your undoing. We warned the Tekri once. Their empire is now dust." Varnex turned away. "Old tales. Superstitions. This is a new age." The elders left in silence, heads bowed, not in submission, but mourning. Weeks later, the invasion began. The Ishari fleet descended on a minor human colony, Epsilon 9, expecting an easy occupation. The first strike was swift, orbital bombardment, shock troops, suppression drones. It went smoothly, until it didn't. On day 3, a single human counterattack wiped out an entire Ishari outpost. On day 5, human marines, clad in black composite armor, retook a destroyed city by crawling through sewer systems and ambushing armored vehicles with nothing but knives and firebombs. Commander Zyra, stationed on Epsilon 9, sent a desperate transmission to Varnex. "They don't fight like we do," she gasped. "They don't care about losses. They're not afraid to die." One of them ran straight into my tank with an explosive pack strapped to his chest, smiling. Back in the capital, Varnex brushed off the report. "Desperate animals," he said to his advisors. "Cornered beasts fight the hardest." But deep down, something twisted in his gut. Because the reports didn't stop. Entire Ishari legions were going dark. Human resistance wasn't just surviving, it was adapting. Fast. Ishari encryption was broken. Human drones, crude but effective, began sabotaging food routes and communication relays. Then came the recordings. A grainy video leaked across the net of a Ishari general being executed on a live stream, flanked by human soldiers wearing no insignias. One leaned into the camera. "You invaded our home. Now we're coming for yours." The conclave grew quiet. Senators no longer wore smug expressions. Varnex requested reinforcements from the outer fleet. But the humans had already moved on. They weren't just defending anymore. They were attacking. Remote Ishari worlds began to vanish from the grid. Scorched planets, lifeless cities. Evidence of surgical strikes and brutal sabotage. A ship docked on the outer rim. It was a Ishari frigate, seemingly intact. The welcoming crew approached, only to find the entire bridge crew dead, rigged to their chairs, eyes open in terror. A message was carved into the command console. "Told you not to come." Panic began to spread. Whispers in the barracks. Soldiers abandoning posts. Civilians fleeing inner worlds. Varnex summoned the elders again. Elder Raya entered slowly, staff in hand. "You knew this would happen," he said. She didn't reply. He slammed his hand on the table. "Then why didn't you stop us?" Raya looked him dead in the eyes. "Because you never listen." By the time the council begged the elders for guidance, it was already over. The humans weren't fighting for territory. They were hunting, for revenge, for pride, and for the warning they gave long ago that no one listened to. The skies over Ishara Prime were once a symbol of peace, filled with silver ships and elegant rings of orbital gardens. Now, they were stained with smoke. Fire and debris fell like rain. A human fleet had arrived. Not vast, not overwhelming, just precise. 10 ships, dark and silent, slipped past the outer defenses. They didn't engage in open combat. They landed, fast, surgical, and without a word. Within hours, the planetary grid went dark. Power systems failed. Military bases went offline. The streets of the capital trembled under heavy human boots. They didn't speak in conquest. They didn't raise flags. They were here for them, for the ones who gave the order to invade. Varnex fled the capital bunker with his remaining guards. The proud strategist who once scoffed at ancient warnings now stumbled, dirt on his robes, terror in his voice. Where are the fleets? Where is the response? His guard looked at him, face pale. Sir, they've already taken the outer moons. No one is responding. No one left to respond. In the distance, explosions echoed. A tall spire collapsed. The streets below were littered with the broken remains of drones, soldiers, and Ishari who tried to run. Human shock troopers moved like wraiths. They didn't take prisoners. They didn't stop to explain. They executed. With efficiency. With silence. With memory. Elder Raya stood at the temple steps as the first human reached the plaza. She didn't flinch. Behind her, a dozen younglings huddled in fear. The human stepped forward. His armor was scorched. A laser mark ran across his chest plate, melted but still glowing faintly. His helmet hissed, then opened. A human male. Battle-hardened. Calm. She looked him in the eye. You remember, she whispered. I do, he said. Raya gave a slow nod. I tried to stop them. We know. That's why we're not here for you. Another soldier stepped beside him and handed her a small device. Raya looked at it. It was a distress beacon, Ishari code. You're evacuating us? She asked in disbelief. No, the soldier said. We're giving you the chance to run. We only offer it once. Across the city, the conclave burned. Senators screamed for negotiations, for mercy, for surrender. But the humans didn't come to talk. They came to end it. Varnex was cornered in the grand hall where it all began. He stood before the same holographic map where he once plotted Earth's invasion. A single human walked in, armor splattered, eyes unblinking. Varnex tried to speak. We can rebuild. We can offer tribute. The human raised a hand and showed him a hollow recording. A girl's voice, trembling. They're in the schools. Please, somebody help. Followed by static. Then a Ishari officer laughing. Varnex fell to his knees. I didn't know. The human lowered the hollow. We did. One shot. Clean. The war ended not with a treaty, but with silence. Weeks later, across the galaxy, messages from Earth began to appear. Not warnings. Not threats. Just 3 words. We remember everything. The galaxy took note. The Krail Syndicate abandoned their plans to attack Martian space. The Zalari canceled military drills near human borders. And deep in space, in dark, uncharted sectors, strange human ships continued to vanish, only to reappear years later, evolved, stronger, different. Everyone began listening now, but the elders no longer spoke. Because what came next, no one could prepare for.